Hi class, I want to introduce you to the quadratic formula. We've already been solving quadratic equations, factoring them using the zero property method. And this next week we'll be using the quadratic formula to do the same thing. It's just a different way of doing it. For those of you who don't know, the quadratic formula is this equation down here at the bottom. It's x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, and all of that's divided by 2a. And I know that looks a little scary, but it's really not too bad. And the great thing about it is that we already know most of this information, and so it's just a matter of taking and plugging the information that we already know into the quadratic formula and then doing some basic math skills to find our factors. I love this great graphic that came from blogspot.com, and we'll be using it in class this week to help us be able to figure out which coefficients are the correct ones and where exactly to plug them into the formula. And I'll do it quickly for you here today, just so you can see kind of how it works. So we would take, once we already have our equation in our arranged in our correct order, where we have a x squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, we'll just come in and we'll find our a coefficient and we'll plug it into the corresponding positions in our quadratic formula. So a goes there and there. And then we'll come back up and we'll find our b coefficient, and that same b coefficient gets plugged in here and here. And then we take our c coefficient and plug it in here. And then we just do our math using our correct order of operations. And we will end up with, if it is a solvable formula equation, we'll end up with our two factors that we can then graph. So that's just a quick little look at the quadratic formula that we'll be looking at a little bit more this week. And just hoping to show you that it's really not that scary, that you know a lot of it already, and it'll be a good time. So we'll see you in class this week. Bye-bye.